Okay, so one of my favorite players to watch and one of my favorite NBA podcasts to listen to had something to say about Victor Wembanyama.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so we're gonna take a look at this. This is Road Tripping. I think RJ and Channing Frye are doing a phenomenal job with this podcast, along with their host. And I think it's just really good. Every single time I see them say anything is entertaining, it's funny, it's informative. It's one of the best, like by far. So if you're trying to find an alternative to ESPN, FS1, or whatever, just follow them or claim the Spurs fan. I'm just kidding. I don't do like the whole NBA, but like follow them. Road Tripping, they're great. It's awesome. And they have way more information than obviously I would or a lot of other people would. They're good. They're good. Grounded guys. And then it makes sense too for them to work together, because if you look at their careers, they're kind of the same as far as how they approach the game and maturity levels and just being good teammates. It's good stuff. So now the player that I really enjoyed watching was Jameer Nelson. Like I really did like him as a player. And apparently he had something to say about Wemby. Now, where I found this was actually Google. No one told me about this. And it was basically saying that who would you take, Wembanyama or Dwight Howard? And I found that interesting. So I wanted to see what they had to say. If you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a patron and YouTube member, only $2 per month. If you don't want to do any of that, okay, all the links are in the description. If you don't want to do any of that, all you have to do is just like this video, okay? Just like it. All right, let's take a look. Where are we at? Here we are. All right, okay. Oh crap, I just skipped all the way ahead. All right, they got timestamps, so let's see. Comparing, here we go. Alrighty. I don't even see why they would even compare those two. It just seems weird. Anyways.
Question.
I'm taking Dwight. I'm taking Dwight.
Okay.
Nelson. Why are you letting me down? All right, let's see.
I want to win right now. You take Dwight. If you got some years to get some meat on his legs, pause.
But this is the thing. No, but this is the thing with
That's not even a pause moment.
Victor.
You take Victor.
With Victor, you hope the Victor continues to develop. With Dwight, I'm not saying he was a finished product at 19, but damn, what you were getting at 19 was something.
Yeah.
It was Amari, but bigger and stronger. Like that's like Amari had more stuff, Amari had more skill, but like you're like a physical specimen. We hadn't seen Amari till Dwight came, and we were like, "Jeez."
Damn.
So you would say number one pick, 19 Dwight, 19 Victor. You're taking Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and the dude ate Popeyes all day and he buns and Pepsis and stuff. Like the dude at one point wasn't eating fruit. He wouldn't eat salad, no vegetable, nothing. He's
a specimen.
It was that, like, to me, it was like, this dude is special because of everything. Not just like you said, not the basketball part, like how he recovered, and it just was crazy. Like the dude,
he never missed games. He never missed games. His first like 7, 8 years.
He never missed practice. He never missed practice. We would tell him to take practice off. He would never miss a practice.
Hold on, let me see.
And he wouldn't let the backups get in practice.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's fucked up. Gortat was over there hot, wasn't he?
No, Gortat was the backup playing against him, getting elbowed every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Gortat, man, listen, you made a good point. In Phoenix, we got all the old Orlando guys. So we got Turgaloo, we got Vince, we had Q Rich, we had Petrus. Oh, forgot his other name.
Guys,
Petrus.
Michael
I want to bring something up. You know what this whole conversation reminds me of? It reminds me of the argument I was having during last year's draft when the question was, should we take Jeremy Sohan or should we take Jalen Duren? Because I was very open in saying I don't think getting Jalen Duren is a good idea. Now, and it's not because he's a bad player or anything like that. It was just that his ceiling, it's pretty in your face. Like I'm not trying to be like a jerk or anything, but like he's a specimen in and of himself for his age. He's a really good player. Don't get me wrong, but the ceiling is just you can kind of tell. With Jeremy Sohan, he just does so many other things. He's so versatile, and while maybe coming straight into the NBA, he wasn't as good as Jalen Duren. I just feel like the next couple years, I think he'll be much better. So, like, I don't know. With Dwight Howard, he was a really great player. Like, don't get me wrong. I think mentally sometimes he would, take things as serious as maybe he should. But I mean, athleticism, his build, it was really great. But he didn't have like phenomenal shooting touch or around the rim like touch like even Shaq. I know a lot of people say Shaq was just brute force. No, Shaq had good touch. I know he couldn't shoot free throws, but he had pretty good touch around the rim. Dwight Howard at times it was a little iffy. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts there. I take Wemby. Both of those same age, I take Wemby. It really reminds me of that Jalen Duren versus Sohan discussion.
Michael Petrus.
There we go. He wasn't our favorite.
Did you have Mo Harkless and Mo Williams?
No, bitch. Shut up. But like all they could do was say, man, this is not what Stan did. And we're like, of course not. Motherfucker, you're here in Phoenix. Like, we just went to the Western Conference Finals. Like, we try to go back. Stan would never let us do this. We're like, well, we ain't Stan. You got freaking Alvin Gentry, homie, so calm down. But it's the opposite of Stan.
It's funny. It's the total opposite. I had Alvin my last year in New Orleans. And look, so I was like the backup. We had a bunch of guards where I'm playing. And then he gave me like a DNP. I was like, cool with it, whatever, into my career. So I had a couple DNPs straight, and then we were up by like 25, and he put me in the game. I was like, all right, whatever.
I know. I could already continue, but I'm already feeling.
So we started.
This isn't about Wemby, but I do want to hear this.
In the league, right? He put me out there with like two-way players, a couple of dudes that don't really play, right? So we start losing the league. He got to put the starters back in. They come back and win. So I went to his office the next day. I said, Coach, I don't mind not playing. I'm going to work my tail off and be there for you. But, like, can you, like, not put me in that situation again? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Next game, he did the same thing. He's like, hey, he was like, hey, Jameer, go get such and such. I was like, hell no. He looked at me like, what? I was like, I'm not going in the game. He was like, why not? I just turned my back. I just literally like turned, like I'm not going to the game.
This is who I was sitting next to. This is who my locker was next to in Dallas.
Hang on. So wait, why did he do that?
I don't know.
You just don't be thinking.
Coaches be getting in zones.
He forgot.
Okay, so he just forgot about the conversation.
Yeah, I think he just forgot.
I was with her. I thought it was going to be like a mental game. I thought it was a legit mental game. I'm like, what are you doing? What was the reason behind it? What was the philosophy behind it? Because we already know if it was Pop, there's a reason behind him doing that. He didn't forget a thing, so I don't know.
I respect the hell out of him. Like I thought he was a good coach. I thought he managed the team well. He just forgot. It was like 2 days later, and I was just thinking, like, I just told this dude I'm not going to a situation like this. I'd rather go home to my kids and just not play.
Well, yeah, because they don't understand. Like, you as a player, you can be okay with a DMP as long as there's communication. What you're not okay with is being put into a bad position, and now your performance, your mental, how you like to prepare, that goes into it. Because, like, sometimes you might need me. If you over here fucking with me in and out, we get 2 injuries, a sprained ankle, and something happens. Now all of a sudden you looking at me like you need me, but you haven't put me in a position. Now it's my job to stay working and stay ready, but you're not putting me in a position to succeed. It's like, I'm not gonna keep going out there and getting fucked up and I'm a negative 500 and I'm trying to get a job next year because you keep putting me out there with G Leaguers. And the next thing you know, the coach is like, I try and give Jameer a chance to play. Do you really?
Right. Flow is a lot, Allie. Like flow.
Gosh, I cannot be a coach in the NBA. NBA players are a lot to deal with. Hold on, let's see if we can skip through. Did they have anything else to say about it? I guess they mentioned Kyrie. Why did they make this whole segment about comparing Wembanyama? Wait, reflecting on Dwight's physical abilities. What?
I never forget, we had like the number 1 rated offense in NBA history, like the games. So I call a play, and my job was just to get Dirk and Monte the ball and get the hell out the way, basically, right? And call a play. That's not the play Carlisle wanted. So he stomped his foot. So I call timeout. Yo, don't you ever stomp your foot at me. It was real subtle, though. It was real subtle. I don't think nobody heard me. He was like, I didn't mean it. Like I said, don't stomp your foot at me. And,
oh my God, was Nelson like this? I enjoyed watching Nelson play, but oh my goodness, bro, I would not. as a fan, I would be like, oh my goodness, this guy. But I guess he was low key with it. But geez, he seems like a lot to deal with. He wouldn't be able to pull that with Pop.
And 2 weeks later, I was traded.
He said, all right, well, stomp your ass up out of here, then.
They wanted to bring in someone that could follow orders and instructions better, so they brought in Rondo. And let me just say this. Rondo was still talented. Obviously, Rondo went on to win a championship with the Lakers a few years later and blah, blah, blah. But the pairing of him and Rick Carlisle to say that it was just not. It could have been a better pairing. I'm gonna keep it politically correct. It could have been a better.
People hated Rick Carlisle, man. He's one of the toughest coaches. I don't know how personable he is because everyone had an issue with him. Luka had an issue with him. I don't know.
But we did lose the best offense. They made a bunch of trades to bring in Rondo. We did have at the time the best offensive rating that they had seen. That was on the skit when offenses were starting to boom even more. And with Dirk and Tyson, and it was just the wings. We had Chandler, we had Jay Crowder, Farouk Aminu. We had we just had a lot of depth in that space. And then we made that trade, and next thing you know, you called a timeout because he was stomping your feet. But he started getting 8-second violations on purpose. Against Rick. Oh, it was crazy. Him and Rick, that shit was. I thought I had seen a lot with you sitting next to me. Well, his locker was right next to mine. They got your ass up out of there, and then I'd really seen it all.
Jameer, you are a man of many hats. You wear many hats.
Okay.
One of which your dad.
And then they go into his parents. Okay, that was pretty good. So he would choose Dwight Howard for obvious reasons. But I think that they had a more grounded take on it. He wasn't disrespecting Wemby or anything like that. I understand where people are coming from with that, but like I said, I would take the guy with the most versatility, especially we're talking right now. Let's win right now. I mean, I suppose if you have a championship caliber team and you're ready to win right now or whatever, but I mean we're talking draft and you're getting a guy that's as good as Dwight Howard or Wemby. I mean more than likely you don't have a win now team anyway. So in that context, I would definitely take Wemby. I don't really see much utility in taking a Dwight Howard over Wemby, even though Dwight was a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Everything about Wemby, I like what I'm seeing thus far. Even mentality-wise, I think that he's going to have a better mental than Dwight. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, I don't want to disrespect Dwight Howard. We already know Shaq did enough of that over his career. So, anyways, I'll give it to you guys later. Till next time. Bye.